Hi, welcome to the Market Alert for Thursday, the 4th of November 2021. So, as we expected, the Fed to start tapering bond purchases later this month as it begins pulling back on pandemic aid. This is the interesting one here for me, though, because as it says here, the Federal Reserve said on Wednesday it will begin tapering the pace of its asset purchases later in November. Well, what date in November? There doesn't appear to be any date. They've said they're going to do it, and they're going to be reducing by 10 billion treasuries and 5 billion mortgage-backed securities. But there is no date. It just says later this month. And that for me is highly suspicious until I just find it really odd that they would actually not give a date. So we'll just have to wait and see. But anyway, that allowed the market to move to the upside yesterday, along with the ADP numbers as well. That allowed obviously for Powell to go down the tapering route, so it was good news for the jobs market yesterday. S&P sets new record by surging 37% in Biden's first year as president. No other president has seen such money pumping, and I think that's the crucial bit here, money pumping and obviously plunge protection team assistance during their first term. Implied volatility, which you've not seen for a bit because it's been really sideways, but today I've brought it back because we went down to 1263 yesterday as the Dow, the DAX and all of the markets made new record highs. We're still not down to the 1254, but this is interesting. It's so tight and coiled that we could start to see some sort of a corrective move. And the key here is, of course, what's going to move the market higher now? Because Powell has already said that he's not talking about rates, and he's still saying that inflation is transitory. And speaking of interest rates, the news for the UK today is that the Bank of England could hike interest rates today. What will it mean for you? Well, obviously, you're going to be a rocket science to work that one out if you've got a variable rate mortgage. So watch out for this one at midday, along with all other news. We've got OPEC meeting today, and then midday it's all about the Bank of England. So we've got asset purchase policy report and so on and so forth. And I'm just looking to see what the official rate is. And here they're not showing any potential increase, but Bailey's out quite a bit today. He's back out again at 1 p.m. as well. Once they've made their announcements in the policy report. So yeah, that's an interesting one. But they're not actually, well, Forex Factory aren't showing a forecast of a rate increase, but we'll see. And then say 1 p.m. we've got both Lagarde and the Bank of England, Bailey, speaking as well. So let's have a look at the market's reaction yesterday to the tapering news. We can see we've got another new all-time high in the Dow. It's just relentless, isn't it? Market remains vertical. You only have to look at the monthly chart now, and you can see that it's just non-stop, and prices continuing to move to the upside, which these stocks must be so seriously overvalued by now. But it doesn't really matter, does it? Valuations don't come into it. It's a matter of perception and keeping the illusion alive that everything is fine, and the market continuing to move higher, even despite the fact that the volume is actually been dropping over the last couple of days. Be interested to see if the market can hold these highs today, because normally when you get something like this where it's had to wait for news to move up to this sort of level, then generally you see some sort of corrective move the following day. So again, we'll just have to wait and see what happens when the futures kick in. But now the rate hike is sort of off the table temporarily, and Powell still talking about inflation being transitory, which was in this article if you just go down a bit further. So just to clarify what Powell said, it's here. Along with the move to taper, the Fed also altered its view on inflation only slightly, acknowledging that price increases have been more rapid and enduring than central bankers had forecast, but still not backing off use of the controversial word transitory. So I don't know how they come up with this transitory inflation, because I've not seen any prices moving lower, particularly fuel prices or gas prices, but that's what they're saying on it. So by tamping down this, they can leave rates unchanged, of course. So let's have a look at the DAX. This put in a new all-time high yesterday. Well, actually, yesterday it broke through the 16,030, went up to 16,056, and at the moment, if we look at in a smaller time frame, you can see this trying to pump this back up to the high that's been made overnight here as well at that 56 level there. So that's what they're doing at the moment. Again, wait to see what happens when the futures open. In the 2-minute chart for yesterday, you can see absolutely nothing as the market waited for Powell, and the same in the afternoon, absolutely nothing. And then of course in the evening you can see the DAX reaction there, moving the market up 100 points and to the all-time high, which I've drawn in here. And actually you can see that the market gapped above this to put in that high. Obviously Powell said something around this time, or there was another announcement. It's a bit late on for Powell, to be honest with you, so I don't know what happened there, but the market gapped. Oh, I know, it closed and then it restarts, and then that's why. Yeah, so yeah, when it restarted at 11:24 or around there, we then had this new high that was put in before midnight, which is why that's the high that's there, so I haven't got to draw that in manually. But here you can see the all-time high of 30, and obviously we've got the 56 one that's been made just before midnight there. So keep an eye on that one if the market trades up to this, whether it can get through this or we start to see a bit of a move back down to the previous all-time high. Will be interesting. And meanwhile in the metals markets, well, as planned and as predicted, yesterday they slammed the silver price, and again they haven't finished with this, by the way. They're going to continue this now. The fact that Powell has taken transitory off the table and the prospect of increasing interest rates not until the earliest of July next year, the silver price and gold price is going to come under huge pressure. So I expect more of a hammering to the downside. Again, still have an order down at $20. I wouldn't put anything past these corrupt bankers to do exactly that, to be honest with you. We've got the same picture in gold as well. This pushed down again yesterday, stopped at closed back at above the 89, but didn't come back at an awful lot either. Actually, you saw a bit of a reprieve in the silver market for a while, just in this bar, but that is now climbing back up as well. So again, gold holding its own, far more stronger than silver. The dollar again moving up overnight. Yesterday this moved down sharply, as you can see here, when the Fed announced the tapering, but has since recovered because again the lack of news regarding interest rates and brushing over and glossing over the inflation numbers. In silver, there you can see yesterday lunchtime 12:30, because we're back an hour in the UK, normally 1:30 when the Crimex come in and slam the price of silver, but they didn't do this. This happens at the moment at 12:30, and the same the day before, which we looked at also. So again, predictable pattern, but it's seriously undervalued. The more this lower this goes, the more ridiculous it's going to look compared to its 42-year high of $50. So there we go. Let's see what happens today. Then I wouldn't be at all surprised if we get back to the highs and then there's a bit of a corrective move. I mean, what is there to actually move the market through it? Not that you should have an opinion, you should trade what you see, but interesting given that the fact that the markets have traded vertically, as we can see in the Dow there and all of the other markets over the last few weeks, without barely a correction. One day down, all of the days up. So we're due for some sort of corrective profit-taking move, because that's all they allow these days. You're not allowed to sell off. Okay, that's it. As ever, thanks for watching. See you in the next one.